Hi, I'm Shlorm. Let's talk about Origins. Now, before I continue to talk on this video, I just want to say I like Origins. Origins used to be my favorite map, and I think it's one of the coolest maps ever developed because it has so many interests behind it. So, this is not hate to Origins. I literally have a pros and cons list next to me, so enjoy the video, and yeah. Origins kind of sucks. I fully believe that. Origins kind of sucks. It is a fun map, and most points, but and sometimes I just don't enjoy Origins, and I think that comes with a lot of reasons. I play zombies to do Easter eggs, and Origins just has one of the most interesting Easter eggs ever, which I can't hate on Origins for that because it was one of the first proper. I think it was the first proper modern day Easter egg that we know today. So it was the building block, which I can appreciate, and is why I don't hate the map. So like things I hate of Origins. I think the first step is the most annoying step ever, and I think there's maps that do the first step way better, where you have to get the Wonder Weapon upgraded in order to complete the Easter egg. There's maps that do that better. Horizon Track, you have to upgrade one bow per player. I think that's a good system. Zetsubo no Shima, you need the Masamune in order to kill the boss. Revelations, you need to upgrade the Apothecant Servant, but you don't need it for the whole map. I like those systems. And the way those systems are implemented are well, okay? You can fail anything once in those systems, but you can always come back. And I like how Origins also does improve that, and I think that's where Origins comes in well. I also just dislike one of the staffs. I hate the ice staff. I know it is statistically the best, but to me, for my playstyle, it's the worst. I like to get up close with zombies, and that's not where the ice staff dominates. It dominates at a medium range. Weapons like that, I don't attract to. I like the Mark III because I can, shoot black holes. I like the Apothecant Servant for the same reason. I like the bow. I can just spam below me. I like the Masamune because I can charge it and spam below me. I don't like these weapons where you're needed to be in distance because I feel more comfortable being boxed in with zombies than I do not. Another thing I dislike about Origins is how much of a fetch quest it can be. I know all Easter eggs to an extent are fetch quests, but I hate the Crazy Place. I don't think the Crazy Place is fun at all. It's interesting. I think the Origins puzzles are very cool to do the upgrading of the staffs because they are very interesting. I enjoy them, like, severely. But with Origins, the Crazy Place is so frustrating because how the walls cave in on you, it makes no sense to me. There's maps that have done that system better. Revelations boss fight did it way better with the electric margwas, and the only real reason to go to the Crazy Place is to upgrade or do the Easter egg, which, when you have all those walls falling, it's so easy to die. And I think it makes it interesting because it makes a better player if you can swerve out of the way, but it's also just frustrating to anyone who's thinking ahead of what they want to do, and it's changed by the Crazy Place wall. Next, another thing I hate is I just don't like the amount of robot RNG needed sometimes, which I'm not gonna hate on that too much because I think it makes sense. I like the robots. I think they're cool. I like that you need to go in them, but like the step where you need to put the staffs inside of the robots' heads and then hit the button is so frustrating on solo, which I understand. Zombies is meant to be played 4-player, but solo, it's just unfun, and solo is where I mostly play. Another thing I dislike is the soul boxes. The soul boxes, I actually have no problem with. I like soul boxes in most maps. I think they're cool, but the Origin soul boxes, for no apparent reasons, are so frustrating to me because they take so many souls and never fill, and then just get stomped on by robots, which I don't like. I think it's an interesting feature, but I th- I like the soul boxes. I just hate the way they work because I never like it feels like they never actually take souls. Um, Origins is a great map. It's just aged horribly with time, in my opinion. And with that being said, there are good parts of Origins. I think the gramophone is a very interesting system in which you need to grab the gramophone and the records in order to go into the crazy place. That's an interesting system. I can't remember a way in which that has returned. There most likely is a way in which that is returned, just I don't remember one personally. The staffs, unique weapons, top tier. I like the staffs. I think the staffs are an amazing way to convey everything. I like how the characters have their own staffs, each and individually. It is an interesting thing. Another thing I think Origins does amazing is storytelling. I think it's an amazing story the way Origins shows you Samantha's story and Max's in a rebooted zombies universe. I love it. I think Samantha voicing over the perks, not the perks, the the drops is a very interesting mechanic because you hear Samantha and you hear her talk to you. It can get annoying, but in story relevance, it is very interesting. I like the generator system where you have to activate generators in order to buy perks, and I don't think it makes sense for the box, but I don't care about that. I hardly use the box on Origins. But I like that even if the generator goes down and you have a perk, you keep your perk. You don't lose it or it doesn't go power out. Similar to, I believe, Transit, I think, did that. I think that's a great system for Origins. With Origins Pack-a-Punch, I love the way you get the Pack-a-Punch. You have to go out of your way and do every single generator and keep every generator up in order to keep the Pack-a-Punch. I also think the camo for the Pack-a-Punch is amazing. The Maxis drone is one of the most interesting little secondaries we've ever had in zombies, where you can launch it and it can go revive people across the map. And even with reviving on Origins, there's so many unique ways to revive people in Origins, where the map is built for 4. It's an amazing multiplayer map. Not multiplayer, it is an amazing co-op map. I love it. I love the way Origins works with that. You can revive people, Maxis drone, quick revive, regular revive, the staff revives. It is so good for a system like Origins, and I think that's why it works so well co-op, where other zombies maps can feel a little cluttered when co-op. I think Keener to Toten feels cluttered on co-op. Origins does not. It benefits the more people you have, which is obvious in the Easter egg where you have to gather the staffs, but it's just more of a system. Another thing I like about Origins is the Panzer. I love the Panzer Soldat. He is my favorite special enemy in all of zombies. I think he's better than the Margwa. I think he's better than Brutus. I think he's better than whatever is in zombies today. He is such a interesting character in the sense that he is overpowered at some points. At round 8, if you don't truly know what you're doing in Origins, he will kill you. And I like that of the Panzer. But if you know what you're doing and you're an experienced Origins person, you know how to combat a Panzer in the sense that you can have a regular gun and take him down, or by round 8, you can have all 3 staffs ready to go, or ready to upgrade. And I think that's such a simple thing that makes Origins special. Another thing I love about Origins is the early game at times. Origins round 1 through about 7, I love. Because if you optimize the game properly, without gobblegums, you can get all 3 staffs in their little areas ready to upgrade. And I think it's so interesting that point maximizing and picking which perks you want. You can have all 4 of your perks. You can have the staffs ready to go, ready for you to just grab the fire staff and do its first upgrade step. And it's so interesting because I don't think there's many maps where you can do that without gobblegum or without any special features. And I think that's where Origins really stands in its point, where Origins is as good as you are. So if you're worse at Origins, you're going to dislike Origins. If you're worse at the game, you're going to dislike Origins a lot. But if you're better, you're going to more like Origins. But I feel like where Origins also falls is the better you are at zombies, the more you see Origins' faults. And the more you play the game, the more you understand Origins was a building block and a tutorial for what would come to zombies in the future, where you have systems that were implemented into Rise and Drac, Zetsubo no Shima, Gorod Krovi, Revelations, even Shadows of Evil. And I love those systems because there is one system each of those maps have taken from Origins. Shadows of Evil took it where you had to do things prior to unlock Pack-a-Punch and to keep them in, which, in all fairness, that was taken previously, from maps like Darius, but I feel like Origins built upon that and kept it correct. Rise and Drac, you had the return of the wonder weapons that were to each character. Revelations, you had the return of what's it called? Revelations, you had the return of the generators and having to keep them up. And Gorod Krovi, even in Gorod Krovi, you had that returning of a map wonder weapon and having to fight a boss and him being necessary to the Easter egg. I love these systems. And you also had the return of a special comrade used in the Easter egg, with Origins having the Maxis drone send up into the Panzer hole, while in Gorod Krovi you had the Gauntlet of Siegfried go give Nikolai his power core. So in all, I think Origins is an amazing map. I've always liked Origins, and I think, though I like it, I have to point out its flaws to understand more why I like it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you agree with me, and if you don't, I would love to hear any opinions on Origins. And yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye. Hi, it's me at the end of the video. I forgot to say, yesterday in my video, I mentioned a thing about me rearranging my room, and then I was going to put it because I was late to my video. And, here's the picture now. Anyways, I thought I should just say that. And also, if you like this video, I would love to do this video for the other types of Easter egg maps, because I have problems with each Easter egg. Except really Rise and Drac, but I'll make something for Rise and Drac. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please let me know, and yeah, have a great day. Goodbye.